Hi, good afternoon. I want to start with just general public comment. I would like to talk about, I come here and discuss the issues of Scientology and its over involvement with the city of LA. And one particular thing I would like to discuss is an event at the Shrine Auditorium where Scientology has been notified by the city attorney that they cannot prevent the public pedestrians from accessing any sidewalk during any of their events, like any of their special events given by the Bureau of Street Services. But on this occasion, somehow they worked with Bureau of Street Services, which is under Keith Muse, CD9 under Karen Price, and the LAPD to not only to get this massive shutdown, which they didn't need because everything's done inside. And there was a major game at USC going on. They shut down all four streets and sidewalks to the public that needed it, right around Christmas time. And the worst part is that even though they know better that they are not allowed to prevent pedestrians, they put it as a partial, local only can have access to the sidewalks, which is illegal. Okay. And they know this. The city attorney has already stated it. And they had Scientology people who are making less than $50 a week. Okay, they're like like modern day um, indentured servitude. Okay, checking everyone's IDs who want to go past in the sidewalk to make sure they actually belong there. Okay, so what if they were DoorDash delivery people? What if they were visitors? It was a Scientologist that decided whether or not they got access to that sidewalk. That is illegal. I mean, A, we don't have to show our papers. This is America. But B, if it is, it's got to be a government official, not a Scientologist. And the police were there, and they were trying to prevent one person who's going to be talking to you today from seeing her father, who's in captured still. She's escaped Scientology. He's still in there, and so all the city resources to prevent her from being able to see her father or to interact with him. And it's ridiculous. And I am begging you to please open up an investigation into this. I am happy to do that formally if I need to sign anything, fill anything out, provide evidence, anything I can do. But this has to stop. It literally has to stop. They cannot own city people like this and shut down and act like they own city streets. So I want a formal investigation into this. It's CD9, Bureau of Street Services under Keith Mose, and LAPD officials. And in my opinion, they were conspiring to do something that what Scientology wanted, but against the rules. They're not allowed to prevent pedestrians, from accessing the public streets on their permits. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other Zoom speakers?
Yes, we do have a second hand raised. Lara F.M. Anderson, you'll be prompted to unmute. Please state the items you'll be speaking on. You will have 3 minutes.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. My name is Lara Anderson. I also want to definitely echo what the last speaker just spoke about. I am evidence of this organization that we call Scientology, hiding behind a religion, a manipulative human trafficking cult that I was born and raised in. My father, my mother, my majority of my family is in this cult. The reason that we're bringing up the streets and the ethics on this is because the only reason Scientology even started closing down the streets around the public shrine auditorium, you know what I mean? Like it's a public big venue, and there's also the school there. But the only reason they started shutting down these streets is because there were children like myself who were going to the event outside to wait to see if they were able to maybe happen to see somebody like my father walking by. 3 years ago, this started, and they call it protesting. I call it my First Amendment right, but I also call it human rights, where I'm able to talk to my father if I want to. And Scientology has disconnection policies that make you separate from family members and people, whether you like it or not, if it is demanded of you. Because I chose to leave Scientology and speak about my mind and all the abuses and the child human trafficking and the slavery and abuses on a daily basis that goes on, they now have these permits like shutting down a street just so that people like me cannot film and show that my parents won't they're stuck in there. They're Sea Org members. I have brothers and sisters who were born and raised in this as well. They don't talk to me. That there's so much illegal activity going on, and one of the main ways that they are doing this and getting away with it through the city that they've infiltrated over the last 60 years is by getting these fake permits so that they can shut down, not only to hide what they're doing internally, but also so that they can recruit vendors, so that they can recruit people from other cultures into Scientology. Every single time they have a permit on L. Ron Hubbard Way, which we've been asking Public Works for the last 2 years to bring up the revocable permit and bring it back to North Berendo Street. They still haven't done it. I was in this Sea Org slave organization when that street was named that. There was a friend of mine who was her husband at the time was the one who made the fake sign that they still have on that street. There's so many facts to this that infiltrated the city's time and resources, which are completely illegal and manipulative. And I just need the board to be helpful to the people like us who are protesting these abuses through the city to be there for us. And right now it feels like you have people on the CPAP board, Janet Whelan, who's an indentured slave who only gets paid $47 a week.
Thank you.
Great job, Laura.
President
Amazing.
Kulkarni, we have